Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Celestial hero, Malkrie, Wind Messenger. Now, this hero wears leather-based gear, is part of the Ranger class, and a primary role is for a significant amount of utility, buffs, and damage for your teammates. So let's have a look at her skills. Her ultimate ability, Conquest Cyclone. When it is a passive component, Malkrie's normal attacks issue a challenge. Now, what is a challenge? A challenge is a little ticket that will appear on the enemy hero and it will continually circle them, which cannot be dispelled. Enemies without a challenge will be given a priority. Now, she can only have one of these challenges at a time, and when it is activated, when all enemy heroes are issued a challenge, Malkrie unleashes her ultimate and zooms towards them, dealing damage for 8% of their max health up to 260% of Malkrie's attack rating and consuming each enemy's challenge. The skill grants invincibility, so invulnerability to damage, and can be triggered once every 5 seconds. So she'll be constantly throwing out these challenges to enemies while she is in battle. When casting her ultimate, no energy will be consumed, but no additional energy can be obtained. The level 2 damage is increased to 10% of the enemy's max health, and the level 3 upgrade damage is increased all the way to 12% of the enemy's max health, and it cannot exceed 360% of Malkrie's attack rating. So let's have a look at the next ability over here, Battle Intel. So once again, this intel is a card that will appear around your ally and provide them various buffs. Malkrie delivers one letter of intel to an ally with the lowest health percentage for 4 seconds. Each hero can hold one letter only. While holding intel, allied heroes avoid the first instance of damage or health loss every 2 seconds. So this is a massive amount of immunity she can provide for her allies. Level 2, when an allied hero receives intel, so this is the card, they resonate with Malkrie, increasing their attack rating for 15% of Malkrie's initial attack rating. The level 3 duration is increased to 6 seconds, so 4 to 6, and the level 4 upgrade. Intel increases the allies' attack rating by 30% of Malkrie's initial attack rating. So let's have a look at the next ability, Rapid Vortex. Malkrie charges into the enemy side of battlefield. So this is a sweep that she does straight across the battlefield, dealing damage for 300% of her attack rating, knocking back enemies and creating a vortex that lasts for 4 seconds. So this is about half the size of Moriel's vortex, and it will constantly keep pulling enemies towards the center. This vortex deals damage to enemies within range every 0.5 seconds for 160% of her attack rating and draws them towards the center. The level 2 duration is increased from 4 to 6 seconds. Level 3 damage is increased from 160 to 200%. And the level 4 or 30 engravings, summoned units in the vortex are instantly killed if the health falls below 80%. So this is a pretty powerful buff, especially if boss has a couple of enemies surrounding them. Let's have a look at the next ability, Shadow Dodge. The passive component, when Malkrie suffers damage or health loss exceeding 8% of her max health, she becomes immune, consumes the nearest ally's intel, and teleports to them, during which she cannot be targeted. This effect can be triggered once every 4 seconds, so she can constantly keep getting this cheat death throughout battle. The level 2, after avoiding damage, Malkrie deals additional damage to the nearest enemy hero, matching the type and amount of damage avoided. The damage can be no greater than 300% of Malkrie's attack rating. The level 3, Malkrie deals additional damage to another enemy hero if only one enemy hero is alive. The damage and limit is double. And the level 4 or 60 engravings, when triggering additional damage, Malkrie inflicts one challenge on the targeted enemy hero. If they already have a challenge, they are stunned for 3 seconds. So as we can see, she provides a decent amount of control through her various knockbacks and stun based effects. So let's look at her signature item, Founding Cord. Now when you unlock this, Malkrie gains 50 energy points when she sends a challenge or intel letter. So this is on the enemy or on your ally. Every 100 points, she'll increase her haste by 3 points. The level 10, for every 100 points possessed, the haste that Malkrie receives is increased to 5. The level 20, Battle Intel delivers an additional letter of intel, raising the limit to 2 letters. The level 30 unlock, normal attacks issue an additional challenge, raising the challenge limit to 2 challenges. So these are 2 letters or buffs for your allies and 2 letters of damage to the enemy target. And the 40 signature item, when Malkrie's ultimate skill deals damage, each challenge the enemy possesses will reduce their energy by 50 points. So let's have a look at her furniture. Now when you unlock Precision Delivery, the 3 out of 3, at the battle start, Malkrie immediately issues 1 challenge to all enemy heroes. So what this allows it to do, this allows it to use her ultimate immunity, as it does not consume any energy or gain any energy for her. And the 9 out of 9, for every 100 energy points Malkrie possesses, both her and allied heroes with intel gain 4 physical pierce points. So she'll play extremely well with melee based heroes, as this will supercharge their damage. So let's have a look at how she does in battle. Alright, so we'll start off with the training dummy right over here. So as we can see over here, she'll immediately start throwing challenges to the enemies. So as we can see, there was a little letter. That is the battle intel letter right over here, circling your allied hero. This will increase their attack rating and will also give them a bit of invulnerability. So as we can see, sometimes the enemy completely misses my allied hero, allowing them to become immune to damage and to keep on fighting the enemy targets. So as we can see, there's another letter right over here. So let's have a look at the ultimate. As we can see, she'll sweep across the battlefield. As we can see, there's the sweep, there's the vortex, and if enemy target steps too close, they will be immediately start getting pulled towards the center. So let's have a look at how she does at a much higher level deficit. Now this is a 200 level deficit. Now this here doesn't have any damage reduction. However, she does have a bit of immunity through her various effects. So I would recommend putting her on the back line, as sometimes if she's on the front line, she cannot always be immune, as there is a slight cooldown or delay between her invulnerability. Now when she's placed on the back line, she does extremely well. However, she still doesn't perform as expected or to the level that she should when she's placed in mage-based teams. So this is a mage-based team such as Damia and Belinda over here, and they were easily able to outperform Malkrie over here. However, if you place her in melee-based teams such as Naruko and Awakened Brutus, she does extremely well, supercharging your allies' physical pierce, allowing them to deal even more damage and to significantly power up your allies and deal damage to the enemies. So as we can see over here, she's constantly applying those challenges, knocking back the enemies, and Warwick over here is constantly getting pulled into the enemy lines. So as we can see, she's standing over here. However, Tassie one-shotted Malkrie over here. So that is one of the drawbacks to this hero, as sometimes she can get one-shotted if she takes too much damage in quick succession. So what is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this allied hero? Now, I would highly recommend getting her at least to 30 signature item. The reason for this is this allows you to have 2 intel battle letters. So this is the buff to your allies' attack rating, and this also provides invulnerability. This is excellent, especially if your allies are on the front line, making them invulnerable to damage every so couple of seconds. Now, I do not recommend getting the 40 signature item upgrade. Now, for the furniture, I would recommend getting her at least to the 9 out of 9 furniture, as this gives you additional utility. As we can see over here, she issues 1 challenge to all enemy heroes, allowing her to immediately use her ultimate and start controlling and dealing damage to the enemies. Now, the 9 out of 9 gives an excellent way to give her additional buffs to her allies through the physical pierce, which is extremely powerful on melee-based teams, as I demonstrated previously. And I would also recommend getting the 30 engravings as well. Now, this can be extremely effective, especially when fighting boss minions, as this can immediately one-shot the enemies and allow you to continue focus your damage onto the boss. Now, this instant one-shot allows her to deal a massive amount of damage to the enemy targets. Now, I do not recommend getting her 60 engravings. Now, in most of the teams that I tested her with, she does not deal the most damage in any of the teams. She's mainly used for her support and for her various utility-based options that she can provide for your teammates, such as the instant kill on summon units, the invulnerability for your tanks or frontline allies, and a buff to their attack rating. However, she's mainly used for those two components, and her other stats, such as her damage, will not be used in battle.